Hey guys, welcome to Fantasy Gurus, and today we're going to be doing a regular PPR 2020 fantasy draft. And we have a guest here, Parker is going to draft with us at the 8th spot. Garrett has the 5th spot, and I have the 6th spot. We're going to be using an app called Sleeper, which I don't know how many people know about this, but it's a pretty good app for realistic types of fantasy mock drafts. You can do basketball, I think football. I don't know what else. I think there's a gaming edition of it for League of Legends. But if you guys want to use a mock draft and don't have one to use, I'd recommend using Sleeper. It's very realistic, and we'll go ahead and get started. So if Garrett wants to start up the
Okay. Sitting here, I do not know who I want to pick. Alright, I think I'm gonna go Zeke here. I think it's pretty consensus that 1 and 2 are Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey with 1 and Saquon. Then I feel like the next tier is like Dalvin and Elliott in any order if you want. Really up to you. So I'll go ahead and take Elliott. He's gonna have another big year. I mean, it's a pretty easy pick.
Okay. For me, I have two decisions, probably either Derrick Henry or Alvin Kamara, obviously. I would say Derrick Henry is probably he's primed for regression. I think he will not have as good as a year as he did last year. He had an amazing year, 13 touchdowns, I think. Well, I don't know exactly how many stuff he has. I don't know if down here is showing what he has. Is the stats right here, is that showing his last year's? Or is that projected?
No, it's projected.
Okay, so I don't know exactly how many. I think he had the most rushing yards, and he had a really good amount of rushing touchdowns too. But honestly, I'm going to take Alvin Kamara because I think he's also primed for actually doing better than he did last year. He kind of had a slump year with not as many touchdowns as you might want to see in a top first-round running back. So I think I'm going to take him. They need to use him more, and he's just primed for a good season.
Okay, so there's a lot of good top-tiered wide receivers on the board right now. And then there's also Derrick Henry at the number 5 ranked spot. So I think I'm going to take Derrick Henry because he's fallen pretty late, and I think it's really good to pick a running back first round if there's a good running back out there.
Oh, Mahomes won the first round.
Yeah. Okay. So Kenyon Drake, I'm not going to trust that. I bet he'll have a good year, but I just can't, put, the lottery slot on it. So I'm going to go down to Josh Jacobs because I believe that he will have a good second year because I just think the Las Vegas Raiders will be a up-and-coming good team. So I'm going to pick Josh Jacobs because he's, the best player.
Okay, here at the second round, 5th spot, obviously there's a few running backs that I may have to stretch on. I don't really know if I want Nick Chubb just because we don't know how Kareem Hunt will filter into their playing style because he did come in last year and took some of his touches away. So I don't know if I'm going to take Nick Chubb just for that reason. Julio Jones, honestly, may be a good option here for a 1 year, not a dynasty, obviously, but a 1 year type thing at this spot. Other than that, I think I'm probably going to take Julio Jones just knowing he'll probably do better than he honestly did this year. Because I don't think he had a lot of touchdowns like he normally does, but I don't know exactly how many yards he had. I think he had obviously over 1,000, but I think he'll do just as good, if not better, next year. Because obviously he's a very consistent receiver. He is hitting 30, I think, this year, or if not next year. Sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's either early 30 or if he's hitting it this year. But I'm going to take Julio Jones just knowing he's consistent. I don't know if he'll still be a super good player. This is just a tight spot for me. I don't see anyone else way better, so I'm just going to take Julio Jones knowing he's a safe.
I'm pretty sure he's 31.
Yeah, I know. I'm just taking him because he's a safer option than anyone else on the board. If not, everyone else is a stretch.
So I'm sitting here, 2-6. I think it's pretty easy for me. Like, I mean, the two players I'd probably go with are Chubb and Godwin, but I feel like I'd way rather have Chubb here because there's still some good options at wide receiver left later on the board. Um, and I mean, I'm not really worried about Chubb's rushing work. Um, I mean, he's not going to get the receiving work that we want him to, but he's still going to be a solid RB1 for you. And I mean, you pair Elliott and Chubb up, that's a pretty good combo right off the bat. So,
Yeah, I will say that is a good pick, except for the
Mark.
Kareem Hunt part. I don't know what he'll do comparing to last year.
well, Kareem Hunt will get the receiving yards. So I'm all right with that. Kind of accepted the fact of that. So here is where the value kind of like poops the bed. Not very good value, honestly, for me. I honestly think the best value here is just going with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, you've got very good upside, and you actually have a guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield really good. I mean, Elliott is decent at it. I think he's underrated, but Chubb is definitely not a pass catching back. So I think having 3 running backs solidified really early would give me a pretty good boost because it'll also make people not have good running backs too because I've got it. And I think there's just so much good wide receiver depth later on the draft that's why I'm going to pick him.
Yeah, I really like that pick. I was hoping you didn't take him so I could get him.
Hunter.
I was hoping you could take him. I mean, you didn't take him so I could get
Hunter,
him.
you're up.
I know. I was hoping that you didn't take Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I really wanted him. I mean, because he's obviously has huge upside. We have no idea how he'll correlate in the NFL, but I'm guessing with the Chiefs offense and Andy Reid with there, he'll have a lot of upside. Andy Reid just talked amazing about him. Patrick Mahomes loved him. He wanted the Chiefs to draft him. I think just the whole entire Chiefs offense loved him. So I think just knowing that he was their who they wanted is a good sign for him. Obviously, I mean, I'm kind of in a weird spot. I kind of need a running back here. So I think I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette, who will, I feel like, get a lot of carries just knowing that they may be down, obviously, but he also did get a good amount of receptions last year. So I think he won't get as many receptions, obviously, this year, but I think he still will be a viable option for this year, just as he was last year. He didn't get as many touchdowns as he wanted to last year, so hopefully that'll go up too and maybe make up for some of the receptions lost.
Yeah, for me, he's off my board until later fourth. I don't
Yeah.
think the touchdowns are going to come up. The volume is not going to be there from last year, and I don't like his reception total is definitely going to come down. So
Okay, so this is where, like, it's, as Garrett said, it's like a lower value now, at least to me, because I don't really need a running back because the past their picks, I picked a running back, but right now the best like players on the board, at least to my opinion, is running backs. I would be picking Kenny Galladay or Adam Thielen, but they're like not as consistent like the Lions and Minnesota. I don't really know how they're going to play this year because Detroit haven't played that good in the past few years. And then now the Minnesota, Adam Thielen is their number 1, but I don't know how he's going to do without what's his face?
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, yeah. So I think I'm going to go for Todd Gurley.
oh my
Because okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Todd Gurley had an awful year last year, as everybody knows. And then, but you see how like Julio Jones is getting older, as well as Matt Ryan, and then they also got rid of Devontae Freeman. So I just think Todd Gurley will be a good replacement, if not a better replacement for Devontae Freeman.
3, 2, 1. Okay, I don't like that pick. I would take Kenny Galladay there. every
Do
time.
not pick him. Do not
Kenny
pick him.
Galladay is really consistent. He gets super good catches.
Gurley was good last year because he had touchdown.
Yeah, he had like 15 touchdowns, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's not gonna happen on the Falcons. I mean, there's
Well,
he's not even.
we'll
He
see.
can't even
We're gonna
stay healthy.
see.
His
We're gonna
knees
see.
are gone. Disgusting pick. Do not do that.
Yeah,
Please do
if
not do that.
if you're in a bad situation, I wouldn't even take Todd Gurley unless he's like 5th round. Then it's a steal.
Hey,
Like
I'm the
Leonard Fournette
guest,
can
not
get
the guru.
the running back.
Okay. I'm gonna have to pick a wide receiver right here because it's just,
I would say Kenny Galladay is much safer, or even
Kenny
Cooper Kupp
Galladay
or
is a
Thielen.
very safe, consistent wide receiver. Adam
Yeah.
Thielen, I wouldn't
Okay,
take.
let me do my pick. I kind of have to take a wide receiver, if not a tight end, which I don't really want a tight end right here because Mark Andrews, I don't really think he's that safe to pick. Odell, I can't pick because last year was a disappointment. Amari Cooper, I could go for him. Also, as well as Juju, but Juju also had a disappointing year last year. So I think I'm just going to pick Amari Cooper because he's on Dallas. He's the wide receiver number 1. I don't really know what Odell will be doing on the Browns. I don't know if he's going to be splitting as much as time, if he's going to be number 2, number 1. So I'm just going to go for Amari.
I will say that's a pretty good pick there. Amari, I don't know what they're going to do with CeeDee Lamb, though.
I think it'll be.
Because they have Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and also Amari Cooper now. So I don't know how that all
Kind of
plays.
get closer to your mic.
Okay.
Hunter, get closer.
I can hear you. So I'm kind of in a tight situation here. I don't know exactly who to pick. So I got a running back, I got a receiver. I may try to
Hunter,
take a
you're
tight
cutting
end.
out.
I may try to get a tight end here.
Get closer to your mic.
I may try to get a tight end here, but I don't really know. I might get a receiver. I mean, I think there's a lot of depth in the receiver, as I think Garrett said before. But I think I'm going to go with the tight end. Probably, it's just really hard here because Mark Andrews got a lot of touchdowns last year, which gave him those points. He was kind of inconsistent. Zach Ertz is getting old. He's not being as consistent. Darren Waller may be a safer pick than most tight ends here just because he's 27, I think. He's one of the top receivers other than they just drafted Ruggs. Rob Gronkowski, I can't trust. Evan Ingram's too injury prone. Honestly, I could probably wait for a tight end if I wanted to. Probably take another receiver here. Maybe a little bit of a stretch with some of these guys. But I may take Juju, just kind of like a risky move, but could work out in the end. Just because I know Juju had a bad year, but that was because they had him use a backup quarterback pretty much the whole entire year. And I think that he will have a better year, obviously. I think everyone knows he'll have a better year. And he had a great year before with Ben. I think when Ben comes back, he will be able to do way better. So that's why I'm taking him. Just yet again, he is very risky. So just keep that in mind.
So, looking at my team needs, I obviously need a wide receiver probably here, or a tight end or running or quarterback. I really like this player here sitting on the board at 40, Allen Robinson. I mean, he was the wide receiver 7 last year, and he had Mitch Trubisky as his quarterback. So, even if Mitch Trubisky is still the quarterback there, he's still going to get very good volume. And if Nick Foles is the quarterback, I mean, he could do even better. And I'm going at wide receiver 13. That's such good value. That's an easy smash for me.
I like that pick.
It'll load. It's not loading, bro. Okay.
They got it.
Yeah. Oh, sniped. Yeah, my player I wanted got picked. I wanted to get DJ Moore, but
Yeah, I was thinking about taking him.
all right. So, see, there's so much good wide receiver value here still.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah.
It's really hard to choose from.
I'm actually so I think a really good strategy is normally like I feel like league winners they usually have like a top 3 tight end like that's the league winners. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
actually go with Mark Andrews here. I mean actually oh
he is really risky right now. I don't know how well.
yeah actually you know what I'm not gonna take him there. There's a reason I'm not gonna take him here is because I'm just gonna stack some tight ends at the end of the draft. Um, I'm actually gonna go and grab Kyler Murray here. I don't think it's bad value. I really like him. I do think he's gonna be really good. I don't like DeAndre Hopkins though as much because he's coming in and they don't have as much chemistry and they got a lot of wide mouths to feed on that offense. And who knows, they might run the ball a little more than people think. So
I do like that pick. Other than I think it may be a little early to pick Kyler Murray. I mean, there's still
yeah,
Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson. He is. I
yeah,
will
but
say he is
I
a
don't like
very
him
good
a lot.
wide receiver. I mean, quarterback. He's on a lot of my boards. I think he will do very
I
well
don't
this
like
year.
Deshaun here because you know who's he got to throw to this year? He's got
He's
Will
Will Fuller
Fuller.
and Brandon Cooks, but
Will Fuller gets
okay.
hurt, and
So
Brandon Cooks is still
there's a
his
few
last
guys
year.
I like at this spot at wide receiver. Yeah, then again, that tight end is super risky. I feel like I could wait again, just like Garrett said. But there is a few receivers I like here. Keenan Allen is getting kind of old. I don't know how well he'll do now. Mike Williams is kind of coming in his prime.
Yeah,
DK
nah,
Metcalf, I
you don't
feel like maybe the wide receiver one now at the Seahawks. Calvin
you don't know
Ridley
who
is
the
what?
quarterback's gonna be at the Chargers either. So
Yeah. Well, they have Justin Herbert, and I don't. Yeah, you're right. You don't know how well he'll do.
well, Tyrod might be the quarterback for the first
Yeah,
week, so he's not
I mean,
good.
there's so much depth here at receiver. I could probably just wait. I might take a tight end at Mark Andrews and just try to risk it. I don't really know if I would recommend taking Mark Andrews just because of his downside. He's way bigger downside than upside, I think. Just because of how many touchdowns he got last year, that made up for a lot of his points. So I am going to
I
take
will
Mark
say
Andrews.
he's gonna be on the field more since Hayden Hurst got traded.
Yeah, that
So
is right. Hayden Hurst is gone, so he will be more of a, other than Nick Boyle is still there. But I think, oh, I got to take him. Okay, but I took him, obviously, but it is a risky move.
Okay. So right here, there's Calvin Ridley, who's a little bit too risky because he's still the backup. And I believe that Julio Jones will be targeted a lot, so he's too risky to pick. David Montgomery is the starter, but I can't really trust Chicago running backs because 2 years ago, Tariq Cohen was like the better player, and now he's not even talked about really anymore. So Keenan Allen's out there, but Tyrod Taylor and the other rookie quarterback, I don't really know who's going to be the quarterback there. So despite that, I still think I'm going to take Keenan Allen, even though it could risk this team and could cause it to like fall or something. It's a huge risk factor because you don't know who the quarterback's going to be and even if the quarterback's going to perform well. So I'm still going to pick him, but it's a risky move. Okay. I have another pick. I could go for a tight end. Like Darren Waller is out there and Rob Gronkowski, which honestly wouldn't be a bad pick, but you don't really know what's going to happen because he's all new and everything. But, this is like the point where, as of Garrett said, you need a pretty good tight end to perform well. So I'm going to go with Rob Gronkowski, even though it's his first year back. But, let's just pick him up. Hope for that.
don't think
He's only coming back to play with Tom Brady.
I
He's
know
not
that.
coming back to put up stats.
I don't think he's gonna give you solid upside. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he might get hurt in the first couple games too. I think it's a huge risk.
Okay, so here there's a lot of receivers out there. A few of them have high upside, but then they don't. I don't know how they'll do. Like Diggs is a very inconsistent, but I don't know how he'll do in Buffalo either. Lockett's also towards the end of the year last year. He was very consistent until towards the end of the year, which then I don't know what happened. Also, DK's kind of going into his prime even after his first year, he's going into his prime as almost as the number one receiver now. And Tyler Lockett's going out of his prime, getting older, like 27, maybe 28 now. T.Y. Hilton, I would just try to avoid him if you can. He's not going to do well, I feel like. He's been just super injury prone. He hasn't been very consistent. And then Debo, I feel like may be a viable choice here just because he looked really good last year when he got the targets. And now that he's the receiver one there, I think that he'll have a great upside in that they'll give him the ball more, even with George Kittle there. So I'm going to take Debo here. Maybe a little bit of a risk.
They don't run. They don't throw the ball. So. All right. So here, it's pretty easy for me. I need a wide receiver. I'm gonna wait for tight end. And I mean, I like Tyler Lockett a lot. He did get hurt at the end of the year. That's why he didn't play as well. But I don't know if I can trust him again this year because he didn't play well. But the reason I'm not gonna pick him is because Terry McLaurin's sitting there. He's the number one on the offense. Only good. I mean, he's gonna get wide receiver one type targets, and I'm gonna get him in the 6th round. That is so good. Easy smash for me. I'm gonna take him, and then I'll probably I'm gonna try to get Kareem Hunt. Oh my God, sniped. He's actually a really good running back. Just you can plug and play him. He's gonna get the catches. Actually, this worked out pretty good. I'm sitting on the board here. Oh my gosh.
Bard.
Yeah, that was bad.
This is a nice Bard.
Could go Cam Akers, but I think I'm gonna go DJ Chark here. He's number one wide receiver again. He's gonna get volume. I think it's an easy pick here, and we'll see what Gardner Minshew has. I mean, if he's good, then he'd be better. But
Okay.
I still think he's gonna get the upside.
That is a good pick. Now, here I'm kind of tempted to take a running back, as Garrett said. But I do need a quarterback, and I think if I wait any longer, then my quarterbacks will go. And I think I'm going to take Dak Prescott here, just saying because they added CeeDee Lamb, he has Michael Gallup, he has Amari Cooper. He can throw to Ezekiel Elliott if he goes in the backfield or something. And I know that Ezekiel Elliott will get a lot of carries and stuff, but I feel like with the new they just drafted a receiver, which means they do trust Dak in the passing game. And also, they're offering this huge deal. I'm just hoping that Dak takes it and doesn't, for some reason, get traded or anything. I mean, obviously, right now that's kind of early, and we don't know very much. And most people do drafts later. But I think Dak Prescott, if he does stay in Dallas and then he does actually get the attempts that I'm expecting him to get, then he will play out really well, especially with those 3 really good receivers.
Oh, quarterback.
This lined up for me perfectly. So this is a rookie running back, Cam Akers. I think he's going to be a lot, if not a lot, like Todd Gurley, if not better. As you know, Todd Gurley went crazy like the first couple of years at the Rams, and that's where Cam Akers is. So I just believe that Cam Akers will be a good rookie player, and plus he's at a late round. As you can see, I'm picking him at 7-8. So I just think he's a good rookie late round pick.
I will say with that pick, they also have Malcolm Brown, and also they have Darrell Henderson, who they picked last year. So I think they may do a 3-headed monster there and have the 3 running backs and just keep running with 3 of them instead of just the one like they did in 49ers with Moser and Breda and Coleman. I don't think he'll get as. I mean, if I'm hoping he does, because that would be a great pick in late rounds. But I don't know if they really will just use Cam Akers as the main back. I think they're going to do a three-headed monster.
Okay. So here, I could pick Devontae Parker to partner. I mean, like to have, because they got a new quarterback, Tua. But he's kind of too risky since you don't really know how good Tua is going to be, if he's going to get injured a lot, if not. So I'm going to go over to quarterbacks. Drew Brees, kind of risky because he's older. Matt Ryan, kind of risky because he's older. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they're all old players. So they could all have, like, either injury or some other problems that I don't really even know about. But since this isn't a dynasty, so I think I'm just going to pick Drew Brees because he has Michael Thomas. He can throw it to Alvin Kamara. And I just think overall Drew Brees would be pretty good, even though he's still pretty old. So, yeah.
Okay, so Jarvis Landry got taken. That's fine by me. I think I'm going to have to take my third running back here just for backups. Now, this is really hard. I'm not taking Sony Michel. He's just been a tornado of disaster. And so I don't think anyone should take him if he can. And Keyshawn Vaughn, I kind of want to take, but I don't know exactly what their situation. Just the same with J.K. Dobbins. He'll be the receiving back, I think, for sure, over Mark Ingram. But then Mark Ingram's also getting old. J.K. Dobbins may take his role as the horseback. I mean, like the power horse or whatever. But then again, Matt Breda could be the running back one at the Dolphins over Jordan Howard. It's just a really hard decision here. I mean, there's also Kerryon Johnson. Philip Lindsay's there. Tevin Coleman's there. It's a really hard decision here, but I think I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins. Honestly, I can't decide between Keyshawn Vaughn or J.K. Dobbins. I think Keyshawn Vaughn may be the safer option, but J.K. Dobbins has the higher upside, I think, just in the Ravens offense. But I think knowing that Keyshawn Vaughn's a rookie and that they'll probably use him more now that they drafted them, I'm going to take Keyshawn Vaughn here, just being the safer pick over J.K. Dobbins.
Safer pick. Wow. Well, this is the easiest pick ever. Devontae Parker. I mean, the stud down the end of the year. I'll take that. Even no matter who his quarterback, he was still performing. Ryan Tannehill or Ryan Fitzpatrick was quarterback and putting up good numbers. I mean, that was easy. I'm sitting here. I need a tight end, but Evan Ingram gets hurt so much. He's actually good, but let's see this. I mean, he put up pretty good numbers actually for them through a couple weeks, and then didn't get back on the field. I think honestly, Matt Breida is definitely staring me right in the face here.
Yeah, he could be a good late round pick.
Hopefully he just gets workload. I mean, he was pretty good on the 49ers. They used him right, but I don't know if Miami has a good offensive line, and they might not use him. So
They may use Jordan Howard too, is the only thing.
yeah.
So I'm sitting here. I can pick any flex. I can take another quarterback if I really needed it. I think I'm going to take a flex probably. I wouldn't trust Marlon Mack now that they just drafted Jonathan Taylor. I don't think he'll get very many carries anymore.
He's gonna get some carries.
Will Fuller, don't know who's going to be the wide receiver one there, but he may be a viable option here in the 9th round. Also, Darius Slayton is looking pretty good. I think here I'm going to take a Will Fuller, just knowing that he could be a wide receiver one on a team who has Deshaun Watson. I mean, I know Brandon Cooks just got brought in. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They also brought in David Johnson. So I think Will Fuller may be the best option here, just knowing that he has wide receiver upside with a little, meaning on the team, not as a fantasy.
For 4 games.
What?
His wide receiver one upside for 4 games.
Yeah, sure. For 4 games, it doesn't really matter. He's going to be one of my backups anyway, if not flex.
You're gonna take a guy who's healthy for 4 games of the season for a guy who's up and coming.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Will Fuller here, just knowing that he does have a lot of upside, he could be the wide receiver 1 on the Houston Texans.
That is disgusting.
I know he is injury prone, but
Why? He gets hurt every other game.
I know I'm taking that risk. I'm taking the risk.
Okay.
You has a really good connection.
So I did not like the Will Fuller pick. I think Brandon Cook is a way better player in general, but he's already picked there, so he can't really do anything. But I would have passed up on that. So there's some good wide receivers, which is the position I mainly need right now. Running backs, I can't really trust anybody right now because the later rounds, the worse they get. So, because Marlon Mack, I can't really trust, and then everybody else, I don't want to pick. So, at this point, I could go for possibly a second really good quarterback, just in case if Drew Brees doesn't work. Or I could pick a wide receiver or second tight end just in case if Rob Gronkowski doesn't work. So I think I'm going to go to the wide receivers. Julian Edelman, I don't really think he's going to do anything next year because do they even have a official starting quarterback right now yet? Jared Judy's out there. It's way too early to pick him. Daniel Sanders, Darius Slay. Oh my gosh. This is tough. Honestly, I'm just gonna go for a second tight end. I'm not gonna pick Jared Cook or Tyler Higbee. I think to go for Hayden Hurst.
Better pick him.
Okay, there. I got him. I picked him because he's the starter now because Austin Hooper is on the Cleveland Browns now. And I just think that Matt Ryan's going to throw the ball a lot, and Hayden Hurst will be a good replacement for Austin Hooper and get a good amount of fantasy points each game. Okay, so I have another pick. So wide receivers, Julian Edelman's still the main one out there right now. CeeDee Lamb's out there. I could pick him. He could be the backup to Amari Cooper, who I picked in the 4th round at 4-3. I could go for Christian Kirk. Could back up.
You mean wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 2? They're not backup.
Okay. Running backs. Jordan Howard. Is he the starter at Miami?
No, Matt Breida is there too.
Oh, okay. Kenyon Johnson, I know Kerryon Johnson's the backup now.
They don't know that yet. They haven't decided.
I could go for Kerryon Johnson, but that's kind of risky because he could either be the starter or be the backup. So
I'm gonna split.
And that's also same with Jordan Howard. So I think I'm going to go to wide receivers and might as well just go for a rookie. So there's Jared Judy, Henry Ruggs, and CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to have to pick fast. So I'm just going to go with CeeDee Lamb. He's going to be the backup.
Probably. Michael Gallup could be there.
I don't really know.
Okay.
Backup.
Okay.
I think they're going to throw it a lot this year since they have an overpowered offense.
Okay, well, so I'm going to kind of go here with a rookie. Henry Ruggs, I think, is the obvious wide receiver 1 there, right? Am I right? I don't see anyone else there, correct? Yeah, I think so. But I think Henry Ruggs will be the number one at the Raiders, and I think he will get a lot of targets, even with Darren Waller. Because Darren Waller, as you can see, got a lot of targets because he was technically their best receiver. And I think Henry Ruggs will do really well with his speed. I don't think he'll do as good as he would do like on the Chiefs if he was the number one, but I think he'll do well on the Raiders even as the number one. So I'm gonna take Ruggs there as a sleeper, I think, and I think he'll do well on the Raiders.
All right. Well, I need a tight end. I thought he was gonna pick the wide receiver I wanted, but he didn't. So I'm gonna go with Tyler Higbee. I think he's a sleeper tight end. I think him and Hurst are the sleepers in this, so I'll take him and I'll pair him up with someone later on in the draft who's decent.
I like that pick. He didn't do as well last year, though. Is the only thing.
Oh, sniped. Yeah, I got sniped.
Yeah, Judy.
No.
Who?
Oh, Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a
Really?
lot of time.
Here's where I don't really know who to pick.
Marvin Jones, good backup.
I don't mind Philip Lindsay here.
He's your favorite running back.
I'm actually gonna take Justin Jefferson here. He's basically gonna be Adam Thielen now because Thielen's gonna move out to the outside and he's gonna be the slot and he's gonna get a bunch of targets. I mean, they kind of do more play action type stuff, and I feel like they don't. I mean, you don't know exactly what they're gonna do. They had that whole stuff with Stephon Diggs last year and not throwing the ball enough and running too much. I think he's a safe bet, honestly, just to get a bunch. He's got a good floor, and I think he might be the best rookie wide receiver, honestly, because the only one I think they can get the volume that he's gonna get is Lamb. So.
I'm kind of in a weird situation here. I could take really any position here I wanted. Honestly, wide receiver is super stacked, but I'm kind of have 4 there right now. Running back I have 3 of, but then again there isn't a lot there. I said any position, but running back is kind of scarce. There's a few key players that I might want. And then tight end, honestly, I might stretch for a little bit for a tight end. But I think I might go receiver here and take Mecole Hardman just because he's on the Chiefs offense. He's super fast. I think he may be the receiver 2 now above Watkins just because he had a great year last year. And he's shown that he could play in the NFL with Tyreek Hill there as his like sidekick. I'm not meaning he's the sidekick to Tyreek Hill. And I think Mecole Hardman will be a good second option for Patrick Mahomes to throw to. They also have Travis Kelce, though, but I think they'll just be the speedy duo and that he will be the, I guess, relief for Tyreek Hill. And then if they need to throw it, they'll just throw it to him.
Okay. I like that pick a little bit. Mecole Hardman is really fast, so I get your point there. So right here, as you say, this is where I can pick, where all of us can pick anybody, just to strengthen our team. I have 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs, and 1 quarterback already in 1 flex position. So I'm thinking I could go for another quarterback, but I could wait a little bit also. Or I could go for Philip Lindsay, which would be a risky player since he's either going to split time or be the backup. Most likely be the backup. But I could go for Darrell Henderson Jr., which also could be like the 3-headed monster, as you said. Kevin Coleman, he's going to be in like a trio also too, or a duo maybe now. But I could go for a wide receiver, Marvin Jones Jr., Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk's either going to be the 2nd or 3rd. Who really knows right now? Jamison Crowder, Did they get another wide receiver or no?
No. But they wait, what team is he on?
Jets.
Oh,
He's
the
on-
Jets. Yeah, they did get another receiver. They got Denzel Mims, sorry. Yeah. Mims.
I thought they got P. Ryan.
That's a running back.
Oh, okay. I'm completely clueless.
You have 5 seconds.
I'm just gonna go for Christian Kirk. He's gonna be a risk.
Okay.
He's either gonna be the for the
11th round.
number 2 or 3.
Everything's a risk if it's 11th, to be honest.
Okay, I have another player I could pick. Could go for QB, running back, flex. I could actually go for, which is a running back or a QB.
What?
Well, I mean a running back, wide receiver, or tight end. Oh God. You know, this is the point where everybody's like underrated right now. I mean, everybody's not that good. So I'm just gonna go with the quarterback. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Disgusting pick.
You could have waited for him.
Disgusting.
Okay. This is really hard. I have a few players I want, but I feel like I wait. Garrett may take the guys that I want. Just because they are further down on the board, some of them are, but I don't know if I should wait for them or not. I think I'm going to take this guy now, just because he's further up on the board. I'm going to take Antonio Gibson, just knowing Adrian Peterson's old, obviously. Jarius Geis is hurt all the time, and they just drafted this guy knowing that kind of stuff would happen. So I think Antonio Gibson, if in the right situation, will get a lot of carries and may be actually decent on the Washington offense.
What a snipe. God damn. He doesn't even know how they're going to use him right either. He's a wide receiver. He's more of a pass catching back, kind of like Chris Thompson. I think that's more what is going to be his role. But oh well, that makes my pick a lot easier than I guess. I don't have any running backs I like here. I think it's all pinned out. I think I'm gonna go Jalen Rigor or Jalen Rigor. I mean, they don't have a wide receiver in that offense that I trust other than him. And I mean, he might just step into wide receiver 1 role. You never know.
Yeah, I that's why I was debating between him or Jalen Rigor. So I took Gibson, hoping that he'd be better.
Okay, I got too many wide receivers in the back.
The thing is, this is hard for me because I've only been studying Dynasty because we have an upcoming Dynasty draft. And I'm not really worrying about fantasy yet because that's later in August.
These are all disgusting picks, dude.
Wait, are the trades and free agents, like, is that over yet? Or is there still a bunch of people?
There's always free agency in trade.
Is there still trades?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, for example, somebody could get traded tomorrow and
Yes.
yeah.
That is very unlikely, but yes.
I'm gonna take a risk here. I'm just gonna go T.J. Hawkinson.
Oh.
Hope he has a bounce back year. I need a second tight end just in case he doesn't what I thought he'd be. So yeah.
Now, my last 2 picks, I know exactly what positions. I'm going to take 2 different positions here. But I think for the first position, I'm going to take a tight end. I'm debating between Johnny Smith and Mike Gesicki. I think Mike Gesicki will be a better option here. Austin Hooper, I can't really trust in the new offense. But Mike Gesicki has a huge upside, especially with Tua now as the quarterback. I think that he did decent with Ryan Fitzpatrick last year, and I think he'll just go way up with his production this year with Tua now in there. And also, they only have like Devontae Parker and Preston Williams in the Miami offense. Other than that, they've Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman, who don't take any receptions. So I think with the new quarterback, when they're going to test him out, they're going to get him going. Mike Gesicki will be a viable option in their offense.
Okay. So this is the point where speed, not, I mean, this or could pick like a decent player that you could either trade or
You're kind of lagging.
Yeah.
I have 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. So I'll go for like a Austin.
Pick a player. You don't need your analysis. Come on. Don't need your analysis of the board every single time.
Sterling Shepard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look at receivers. Zach Moss. Back up.
You're lagging again.
Just pick someone.
You hear?
Yeah.
Okay, just pick
I'm
someone.
looking for that.
That's extreme value, dude. Holy. Just pick someone, bro. We don't need your analysis.
I'm looking. You know,
You're just lagging a lot.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I got sniped again, dude. Fucking hell.
Mike Williams. Okay.
Joe Burrow.
Oh, Joe Burrow? Okay, yeah, I was thinking about taking him just because he's a rookie.
He picked
So-
a third quarterback.
I'm kind of in a weird situation here. I kind of need a quarterback as a backup.
Oh,
But,
God.
I mean, there's one guy out there that I like. But wide receiver, there's so many. There's obviously T. Higgins, who's going to be probably a second or third string, which is not as good. Denzel Mims. I don't know how to say his name anymore. But if they use him right, which Adam Gase, is super weird, I don't know how he'll play out. Denzel Mims could definitely be the wide receiver 1 on the Jets offense. Michael Pittman could be a wide receiver 1, maybe 2 behind T.Y. Hilton. He could pass up Zach Pascal. But quarterback, honestly, Tua, I feel like has a very high upside, especially with Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, Preston Williams. Matt Breida's not going to really – I don't know how they'll do with their running game, but I have to take one of those guys. And honestly, I may just take a quarterback knowing that I need a quarterback. But I'm just saying in free agency, if you want to drop someone or if you want to pick someone up later in the season, those are a few of the players that I would probably try to aim for if you're trying to pick someone up. But I think I'm going to go Tua here just knowing I need a quarterback.
I'm going to waste picks a third quarterback, dude. Jesus Christ. Well, now I don't know who to pick. There's no one good, dude. No running backs on the board. Michael P. Ryan.
They still have Zach Moss and who was the other guy?
I'll go Pittman.
Oh, also, yeah, Pittman's a good pick, but Anthony McFarland also is kind of a late round. He could be a star. It depends on the Steelers how what they do. I just feel like if they do use him right, that'd be a good option. That's going to end our.
I feel like it's hard to get for him to get into the lead role at least this year. Maybe dynasty-wise, but this year I don't think he's a very good play.
Okay, that's gonna end our mock draft. Make sure if to comment down who you thought who had the best team. I'll just quickly scroll through again to show each team.
Do the thing in the bottom, it'll show most of it. To like get rid of the
I'm gonna try to get rid of this.
You get rid of the Q and the.
I guess I could just click roster. Here's my team.
No. If you click the buttons, like the up button and the down button, you can see.
Well, no, I'm just showing them the roster right now. So here's my team really quick. You just go through there. Then we'll look at Garrett's team. Here's his team. He's Kyler Murray, Elliott. He has a pretty good team, especially with his bench is pretty good. He's good depth. I'm trying to get to. Oh, did he leave?
Who?
Parker?
I guess.
Uh.
He's outie.
Okay, I don't know why we. Here, let me.
It's disgusting. Hey, picks you learn from. Todd Gurley, never.
Okay, here's his team. Drew Brees, I don't really like that pick. Derrick
Rob
Henry,
Gronkowski, never
Josh
touch him,
Jacobs.
least.
Keenan Allen is very risky. Rob Gronkowski's super risky. Todd Gurley's super risky. His team wasn't that good, but comment down below who you thought of the best team, and maybe subscribe if you like our channel. And
Fuller
yeah.
and Fournette were picks of the draft.
Okay, see you guys later.